Hello everybody, welcome to Carculus Inc. Today I'm going to attempt to answer a very important question for the cheap used car buyer. In particular, the cheap used sports car buyer. You see, there was a time when all sports cars were manual, and now there's a time when most new sports cars are automatic. But there's still that sweet spot where you can get a car, or a sports car in particular, that has a manual transmission or an automatic transmission. Now me personally, I've always preferred the manuals. I wouldn't even think about getting an automatic. However, the time has come where the automatics are significantly cheaper than the manuals. So if you're buying a car, say for example this 350Z, I think you are going to have a bit of a harder time finding a manual than an automatic. So the question is it really worth paying the extra money for a manual? Or more importantly, if you can't find the car you want in a manual, should you go for the automatic? So that's why we're here today. I've got this beautiful Nissan 350Z in the right color, with the right brakes, the right suspension, and the right rims. And I was able to get this car for really cheap because it's got an automatic transmission. So let me take you for a spin. We'll talk about how it drives and whether I would buy it or not, and a bunch of other things. Stay tuned. All right, folks. Let's see how an automatic sports car drives. Now, truthfully, let's just close the window here so that you guys can hear what's going on. I have owned quite a few Nissan 350Zs with the manual transmission, so I can kind of relate to the driving experience of the manual. Now we are going to try the little Treptronic here to see how it works. But the one thing I'll say about the Z manuals in particular is they certainly have a lot of get up and go. I mean, it almost, to be honest, feels more powerful than the manual. Now, maybe that's not the case with every car, but I do think a lot of cars, they tend to have a little bit more just the way they're designed, especially if it's a car where the majority of them are being sold with an automatic transmission. You're going to feel like the power, just feels more powerful with an automatic, just because that's the way they're designed, I guess. Or there's more. That's the primary design of the car. Now, despite the fact that this is an automatic, you've still got the excellent Nissan handling. So that that's still with you. You can't. That's not going to leave you. So even if you buy an automatic Z or an automatic Corvette or whatever, the handling is still nice. And if you're driving around some nice twisty roads like I am right now, you're not going to have any issues enjoying the car. Let's put this thing into the Treptronic, and I'm not sure if Nissan calls it Treptronic or Streptronic or whatever, but it's fun. I gotta say, it's really easy to in this, if you've got your relatively fast car, even in an automatic transmission, it's easy to get into trouble. And I'm not sure if you guys can hear the downshifts, but they're quite nice, Whew. Yeah, this car does go pretty good even in an automatic transmission. So the driving experience, as far as an exciting driving experience goes, it's not bad. I mean, you've still got the relatively sensitive throttle response. You've got the if you've got some nice twisty roads and you just kind of keep it in manual mode. Now, not every automatic you buy is going to have a manual mode, but quite a lot of the recent ones are. And it's going to be relatively fun to drive. So what are the pluses? Well, you're going to have plenty of power if you buy the automatic version of a car as you are with a manual, the majority of the time. Especially if you're buying a Z, the manual feels just as quick. If you're pottering around on a busy day, it's nice to have the automatics. You don't have to keep pushing the clutch down and all that. However, and this is a big however, personally, I wouldn't buy the automatic. I know it's easier, it's cheaper. You might get a much better car in an automatic, but for me, I have to have the manual. And the reason I know this is I've had this car for about a month now. And as much as I love driving these Zs, I found myself not taking this out once. And the reason for that is just the automatic transmission. You know, when I'm driving it, I'm like, what's the point? Because with the manual transmission, you can drive the car slowly, and just the engagement of shifting the gears, you know, kind of revving it within a gear is enough to make you happy. With an automatic, I mean, I just want to kind of, you know, I just want to punch it and go fast, but I can't really do that. You can't reasonably, you know, if you're buying a $10,000 sports car, you can't afford to be getting tickets left, right, and center. Especially not in Canada where I'm from. So for that, you know, for those reasons, personally, I would buy, you know, whatever car you're looking to buy, you know, whether it's a Porsche 928 or whether it's a 350Z or whether it's a Corvette, buy the manual. You know, you're gonna buy it once, buy the manual. And the other reason for buying the manual, I think, also is because in the long run, you know, the manuals are gonna kind of appreciate more or depreciate less than the automatics. So sure, you might pay a bit more up front, but you are actually going to be ahead in the long run, or you'll get your money back in the long run, and you'll enjoy the car for the duration of the ownership. So that's a reason to have the manual. You know, I've owned a manual 350Z, and I can assure you I'd be having a lot more fun with it right now if I was driving that rather than this. So yeah, that about ends the video. Next week we've got another video where we compare the 350Z with the Mazda Miata, as you know. So if you guys are around, take a look at that video as well. Thanks for watching.